I guess one of the interesting things that when I think about the difference between then and now is when we first started doing that, we just built net to catch fish, and we tried to maximize that. I guess by the late '90s, it was starting to be the factor. I was spending as much time trying not to catch fish, and like I often say, is like now instead of just like doing that broad going out, we'll tow, we'll catch everything, we'll sort it, and bring it all in. It wasn't like we weren't being wasteful per se, but with the quota systems and the days at sea, you had limited in what you could bring in. So we found ourselves having more and more time designing nets not to catch things, and what I refer to as like the surgical removal of the species we need. The advantages of that, it minimizes bottom time, maximizes profitability, and we're not killing fish that we don't need to.
So these nets catch specific species,
we tend to be very specific, and this is a great example here. This is the eliminator trawl, we named it. So in 2004, the Science Center started to see, we're making tows, and they were seeing a year class of haddock, these small haddock, that were going to be coming along, and it looked like it was going to be a tendency to be a big year class, the biggest they'd seen in like a decade. But the problem was at that time, and then again now actually, but at that time the problem was the codfish quotas were so low. So the call went out to try to design gears that would catch haddock and not catch codfish. And so this is, we submitted this. I have a net that we built like this. The size of these, this is a 1/8 scale model. It's an actual full-scale model. So in the actual mesh sizes of this trawl are 8-foot meshes. The example is that trawl there too. But these are 8-foot mesh, so you can see a big 8-foot meshes in the bottom. So we got together with fishermen, scientists from the University of Rhode Island, funding from the National Marine Fisheries Service, and got together and designed it. So we found out the biggest thing in terms of selectivity is to take advantage of behavioral differences in fish. And so we know that codfish are very much like flatfish, where when they come in contact with the bottom of the net, they come up, but they want to get right back down again, just like fish. They want to be on the bottom as much as possible. Conversely, haddock, when they come in contact to get to a point where they flip up higher in the water column and then slowly drift back into the net. So we had this net that we were using for squid, and one of the big advantages of this net with the squid fishery was that we didn't see any of the bottom species at all. So we said, let's give this a try. So we put a legal back end onto it and went up, and they did over a 1-year time in 2006, 4 different seasons. We went up and did, I remember, 100 and some odd number of tows, side by side with another boat towing a traditional groundfish net. By the time we got done with that work, we had found that, excuse me, versus the control net, which had 23% of the fish that the control net caught were haddock. This net was 83% of what we caught. We had an 85% reduction in cod and like 92% reduction in the flatfish species.